Welcome to Bond for the Trades, a home service podcast, and I'm your host, Mandeep Bala. Most people in the trades talk about building something worth selling. Lance Bachmann actually did it 6 times across 5 industries, over 100 million in exits. And the wild part, he says the playbook works for any contractor willing to run it. Today, we are getting into all of it. Welcome, Lance, to my show.
Hey, Mandeep, thanks so much for having me. I appreciate you, man. Love your show. Love you. Love what you're doing, brother.
Thank you, thank you. This means a lot, and I love your positivity. I've been to the events and I listened to your speaking. It's amazing, and I think this is like second time. I think first I think we did couple of years ago. Great to have you back on the show.
Thank you, brother.
So let's get into this is the segment I really love that your origin. Lance, before we get into the frameworks and exits, I want to go back because you didn't come from money. You didn't have mentors handing you a playbook. So when did the light bulb go off and said, this thing I'm building could actually be worth something?
Um, so I guess, I knew when I was building my digital agency when it got to a certain size. So let me rephrase. I'm going to answer the question directly. There comes a pivotal moment in everyone's decision as a business owner to take it from a lifestyle business to a real business.
Right.
And not saying that a lifestyle business isn't a real business, but make no mistake, your employees know it's a lifestyle business and that you're going on those vacations, you have the shore house, and
Right.
you're not really working that hard and they're building your business.
Right.
Then it becomes, hey, I'm going to go build something special. I'm going to do things different. I'm going to build a real business, become my biggest asset. I'm going to change a lot of people's lives along the way, my employees, my partners. And that happened probably with my sister, Jolynn. It was a defining moment. We were on Bristol Pike in Bristol, and we had about 20, 25 employees. And we never really wanted to go above that. And we outgrew a building I bought for $150,000 with my partner, Sam, at the time. And we had the building paid off. It wasn't much. And we put about $100 and some thousand into renovating the building.
Right.
And maybe a little bit more. But this is 20 years ago. And that's a lot of money back then.
Right.
To a guy that was having a lifestyle business. I remember sitting with my sister, Jolynn, who's my CFM. I said, we got to move and we got to get a office that makes a statement. And I'll never forget, it was either like Priceline or a major company come into our building on Bristol Pike, and we lost the deal. And we were the front runner for it. But impressions were everything. And they went to these other digital agencies that were in beautiful spaces. And our space was nice. It was on Route 13 in Bristol and it had no parking. It just wasn't the right image to wow someone.
Right.
And we spoke and we said, we're going to go build an experience business. We're going to build a business. We know we're a great digital agency, but you got to give people experience. You got to make people feel good.
And what was the year? What was the year? What was your age at that time?
Well, I'm 53 now. I'm 52 now. So I was probably 40, maybe 38, 39. You got to remember, I didn't start my company to 2009, 2008, 2026. So 18 years ago, I was 35, 36 years old when I went on my own. I was the vice president of AT&T prior to that.
Wow.
Right? So I was in corporate America for all those years.
17, 18 years, and you have done a lot. Yeah.
I mean, the majority of my wealth has come in the last 3 years. I try to explain to people the majority of my wealth, and but they don't realize I spent the last 30 years grinding in corporate America, and then building my own businesses, learning a lot on my own. Which that's my biggest mistake. I wish I would have went together with people faster. I wish I would have networked more. I wish I would have joined more masterminds, more coaching groups. Went to more shop tours. All the things I started doing as I lost my ego. But that defining moment was we went and we spent 20-some thousand on a place in Bristol. on the river a month, 20 some thousand a month, which is a lot of money for rent for, you know,
It's a lot.
you're in a building for free, pretty much you had paid off. And
Yeah.
it was home run, boom. It wowed people. We started getting better employees. When we went to bring events in or have customers come in, they were wowed. And
Wow.
I think that was the pivotal moment where we're like, okay, we're going to build this business. Then I partnered and we built Shock IT. So it was just, you become just like everyone says, but you don't believe it. You go from being the hustler to the manager to almost like a leader. And then
Right.
you become like an operator. And then you become a CEO. And
Right.
now I'm more of a founder. Makes sense. I don't run my businesses. I'm not involved in my businesses every day, but
Yeah.
I'm more of a founder. And I love what I do. And
Lo-
I feel like I'm the most blessed man in the world, Mandeep, if you want to be honest. If a guy like me complains, pull out your gun and shoot me because I have no right to complain with how good I've been. What a great
l-
life I have.
Love it. Love it. I have a lot of respect for you, what you have done in a short period, I would say. I'm sure you grinded, you hustled for years. And did you always like plan to sell, or did someone approach you first, like your
No,
first company?
no, I mean, it really, I call it the Travis Riggy effect, right? And people
Right.
say, it's funny. Someone was like, no, you would have had the ideal before that. That's not true.
Mm.
Um, I partnered with Michael down at Dillon HVAC.
Yeah.
Tommy Mello, as you know, asked me to be the keynote at Vertical Track.
Yeah.
Um,
Tommy.
and I went, I gave my speech. It was the first time I ever came out really in public about my childhood and spoke about, what I went through. Tommy asked me to make that my speech. Not, I said, sure, I'll tell my life story. And so, make a long story short, Travis Riggy spoke after me. He sold his company. My HVAC company I partnered with down at Dillon was around the same size. Travis sold for around 30 million,
Right.
high 20s. And I was like, wow, my company's worth that. I asked Travis for his time. Travis, I'll always respect Travis and be loyal to Travis and whatever he ever needs. Spent 3
Yeah.
hours with me explaining the whole process and gave me all the paperwork and just went out of his way for a guy that never even met me before. Like, just it was heart touching.
Yeah. It
Needless to
is.
say, I had that company sold. I had that company under LOI in less than 3 weeks of Vertical Track. I had it sold in less than 2 months, 2.5 months, and I got life-changing money for me. It was close to $10 million at one time. And my partner got close to $10 million at one time
Wow.
after we paid everybody else their money. And it was life-changing for me to get that kind of cash, liquid event at one time. Yes, I was a millionaire.
Mm. Yeah.
Yes, I've made millions of dollars a year up to that point, but I've
Right.
never made that liquid boom at one time. And it just changed my mindset. I said, okay, there's easier ways to make money, there's faster ways to make money. We're going to go start building companies, partner with them. And then it takes like everything else, the ideal comes and it's not
Right.
perfect at first. And,
Right.
truthfully, when I started LB Capital, I was like, oh, we're going to partner with one or two companies, three companies and
Yeah.
scale them. And then next, we find ourselves as LB Capital, the leaders in home services of partnering now with multiple companies and coaching multiple companies how to scale and exit their companies.
Right.
Where that was not the original ideal, but then all these people need help. And then you see the business model and say, this is your calling. And this is what
Yeah.
the model is going to be. We're going to be the leaders in home services to
Yeah.
partner with people to help them
Right.
scale and sell their companies. And if we don't partner with you, we got this great coaching group over here that because you can't partner with everyone, right? You got to pick,
Right.
you're going to pick different partners for different reasons. But hey, the alternative is we got this awesome coaching group with this playbook that has been battle tested, been implemented multiple times in companies. They
Right.
all grow, they all make money. Just follow our steps, our procedures, and watch your business grow.
Love it. Love it. That's amazing. Like, you have done it and now you're doing it for the companies, like, those who want to, like, take it to the next level and build it to sell it, right? That's my next segment. Okay, so your whole thing is build it to sell it. And I'll be honest, like, when I first heard that, I thought most of my listeners are not thinking about selling. They are thinking about making payroll. So make the case, why should a contractor who never wants to sell still think this way?
Well, I'm not going to make the case, right? If someone tells me they don't want to get married, I'm not going to say, go get married. If you don't need a pen, I'm not going to try and sell you a pen. This
Right.
is for people that want to. Your business is your biggest asset. Your business is worth more than most people's homes, right? So your
Right.
business is what funnels your whole livelihood.
Right.
But people treat it and they complain about it like it's an ex-wife. It makes no sense to me. Like
Yeah.
your business is your biggest asset, but you'll complain about your employees, you'll complain about systems, processes, instead of hugging it and loving it like your children. It is mind-boggling to me, right? So
Yeah.
when someone says to me, I never want to sell my business, great, good for you. Good for you. But most people start a business out of necessity, need, trying to figure things out, or they
Yeah.
have the dream of one day, I want to be a multimillionaire. And that's
Right.
okay to say that. You know, when I was younger,
Hmm.
I grew up so poor, I hated everybody with money, right?
Hmm.
And whether you're poor or you have money doesn't make you good or bad. But
Right.
money does make life easier for you. It just does. You have
It does.
options, right? And I believe every business, even if you don't want to sell it, it should be built to sell. Because if I build my company with the right core foundations, it's going to print money for me and my family. And that's the whole
Mm.
reason you're in business, right? And
Right.
on top of that, it's going to release the headaches and stress, not get rid of them. It's going to relieve some of them because
Yeah.
you're going to have the right systems and processes and the right leadership team in place. I.e., I'm going to give you an example, right? I just got done coming out of the most lockdown period of my life, January and February, for wrestling with my children, right? And
Yeah.
literally, I literally just got home 5 minutes ago from States and jumped right on this podcast. Literally walked right in here.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
in shorts still. You'll laugh, right? Like this, I want you to understand this, right? I'm
Yeah.
in shorts still from wrestling, right? And
Yeah.
I'm sitting here, man, deep. And the first thing I did coming home, I literally have tons of text messages from people texting me, wanting to talk to me. I can't respond. I've been on back-to-back meetings all day. But the
Right.
first thing I said to my leadership team, and this is the difference when you build stuff with the right people, you get to
Yeah.
get time. I said, guys, I want to thank every one of you because of the last 60 days of my life,
Yeah.
you've given me uninterrupted time to be with my children. This
Great.
weekend, not one of them contacted me since Thursday. Not one person in my organization's contacted me until
Mm.
this morning. And
Wow.
then my phone just started blowing up because they knew I was back to work, right?
Right. Back to work. Back to
You
the,
can't
the real
do
life.
that if your company, you can't do that if your company's not built to sell it. You just
Right.
can't. It's going to be miserable, miserable,
Miserable.
miserable as you're trying to control things. And it's not that hard to do what I'm doing. It's very easy, Mandeep. It's just you got to want to do it and you're going to have to sacrifice some things.
Sacrifice something. I love that. Like, you built something that you stepped away for 2 months and they took care of everything, right? And this is how the companies should be operating, like, without the owner. I'm glad, like, this is working for you. But if someone is 3 years in and has not thought about this at all, build to sell it, what's the first thing they need to fix, Lance?
Well, you see, people can't diagnose it like that and just say, what's it? You have to look at what their organization looks like. Do you have a leadership team? Without a leadership team, you're dead. Like you can't grow anything. We're in the people business. Lance Bachmann is in the people business.
Mm.
And I say it to everyone all the time. I need great people in my organizations to do great things, right?
Right.
Just that simple. Because
Right.
great people are the ones that build organizations. Not AI, not systems, processes, not marketing. They are just components of what great people do,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
I look for great people, Deep, and like I look at LB Capital's leadership team. Bill Rozelle, my CEO. When I was starting LB Capital, people told me not to make him the CEO. And I'm not going to say their names. Doesn't have a
Mhm.
college degree, never ran an organization before. I'm like
Right.
22 years. This guy's been with. He knows a thought before I even think it. He knows right there. My CFO, right? Never went to college, right?
Right.
She's been through 6 different due diligences, and we've never failed once. We've got through the closing table, right?
Right.
So like, then you look at my other leadership team, Mike Shelley, sales leader, great. Then you look at Kelly Mears, right? She came from a plumbing HVAC business, right? And people thought I was
Yeah.
crazy to make her my chief operating officer. And everything we do wins because my in-house legal counsel, fresh, right? Andre, a great leader, and I think what people don't realize is Sal D'Amico, my sales trainer, was a prison guard for 30 years. So he's a
Wow.
great leader. I look for great people. And I
Mm.
truly believe if you give great people the opportunity, they will go build great things. And my leadership team at LB Capital, I truly believe this with all my heart, is the best leadership team in the home services, bar none. And this is why I can say that. We've
Right.
sold 6 companies now with this leadership team. It's
Right.
them. Lance Bachmann is just fortunate enough to be at the top, as they say, the top of
Right.
the org chart. I'm not. I consider myself at the bottom of the org chart because these people are the ones that constantly lift me up and make me look great.
Love it. Love it. You gave me goosebumps here. Like, it's all about like, people. It's people's business. AI is just like, one of the components, but actually people going to run, right people on the right seats. Leadership plays a big, big role. Thanks for sharing. That's powerhouse. My next segment is like, numbers, the numbers. Let's get into the numbers because this is where I see a lot of owners get humbled. They are celebrating 5 million in revenue, and then a buyer looks at the books and offers them half of what they expected. What are they missing? What contractors are missing, Lance?
Most contractors that I've met are missing truly a few things. Number one, financial literacy. They do not know how to read a P&L truly. They don't understand the difference between cash and accrual. They don't
Mm-hmm.
understand the cash in the bank is not how you operate your business, right?
Right.
They don't understand that vehicle debt is good debt, right? I mean, like they don't
Mhm.
understand the basic funnels of gross margin, right? Of how you get there by, hey, my gross profit has to be here, right?
Yeah.
And then my net income has to be here, right? And if you don't have all your things set up correctly from the beginning, meaning
Right.
I'm buying my materials at this price, I'm getting my contractors subs at this price, I'm paying this much in commission, this much in finance fees, I'm paying this much in dumpsters, whatever it may be. My GP lands here. Then, okay, now I got all my fixed costs. What's my staff cost me in house? What's my insurance cost? What's all these things? And that's how you get to your net.
Right.
And most people never take the time to do that. That's number one. Most contractors don't invest in a leadership team because it says, oh man, if I bring this guy in to run my sales team, it's going
Right.
to cost me $200,000 or $150,000. Okay,
Right.
how much is it costing you by not doing that? Right? How much are you
Mm.
not growing?
Yeah.
Um, so I think people don't understand, when private equity firms come in, they're looking for they have a scorecard and they literally fill it out for every
Mm.
company that talks to them. And it's how
Right.
long you've been in business, how many you have, how much, what's your traffic look like, what do your sales look like, what are your sales made up? Is there a lot of clients or just a few big clients?
Mm.
What's your sales team look like? What's your leadership
Operations.
team look like?
Yeah.
Financials look like? What systems are you on? What CRM are you on? What do you have processes? You have SOPs. I mean, all these things, right? Even down
Right.
to are your W-9s filled out correctly? Are your I-9s filled out correctly? Are your
Mm.
1099 contractors? You have all their paperwork in order, their agreements. I mean, there's so much that goes into it
Right.
that it's not as easy. Funny is because people were like, Lance, you're the only guy I know that sold 6 different companies now in 5 different verticals. Like that's it. Everyone says that to me. Oh, you're the only guy. You're the only guy. You're the only guy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. And I appreciate that. It's the intangibles of the little things that you do great that are going to make it that you get to the end point that you want. If you cannot do the little things, you cannot do the big things. So we
Yeah.
focus on the little things all the time. And people say, Lance, man, you get down the weeds and you woodpecker. No, I don't woodpecker. I expect excellence at all times because I know what they're looking for. And I'm not going to lose millions of dollars when I go to sell a company because
Yeah.
we can't do the little things.
Love it. Love it. Like, like all those like, details. Obviously, net profit, like, what do you call it? EBITDA, right? That matters the more.
Even you have to know it, but you have to know how to get there. You have to know, don't trust your accounting firm. Your accounting firm probably sucks. I mean, that's the
Right.
truth. These contractors I went and got my own CPA from Ernest Young because, and listen, I use a great accounting firm, but I had disagreements with them about multiple things that I had to go teach myself and then teach them and bring back to them. Right.
Right.
So I said, no, what? I want to make life easy. I went and got a girl straight from Ernest Young, one of the
Yeah.
big four, and said, come work for me, a CPA. We have
Right.
5 full-time accountants in my LB Capital, full-time.
Wow. 5 full time? Wow.
5 full-time. And now we're starting an accounting division of LB Capital where we're going to help contractors with their accounting because I'm tired of seeing it done wrong. I'm tired
Yeah.
of people coming to us. Their QuickBooks aren't set up correctly. Their P&Ls aren't set up correctly. Their Service Titan integrations aren't set up correctly.
Yeah.
Garbage in, garbage out. And I'll tell you this, if you're putting garbage into your information, into your, and if you're putting garbage information into any output of what you want, you're going to
Right.
get garbage input, garbage output.
Garbage
So this
out.
is why these contractors aren't growing because they're listening to the wrong people. They are.
Right.
They're just listening. Well, he has an accounting degree. What the hell does that mean, Mandeep? I know a
Mm.
lot of shitty doctors that graduated last in their class and they're still called doctors.
Right.
I know a
Yeah.
lot of shitty lawyers.
Yeah. There
I know
are.
a lot of shitty men.
Yeah. Great insight on that. Need to make sure everything is dialed in the QuickBooks or whatever books or systems you are using. And I want to ask you, like, what's the fastest thing that tanks a valuation? Like, what do you see most in your cases?
The company's built around the owner. He thinks he's the company. He thinks that I'm the best salesman. This company would die without me. Well, who wants to buy that company? Who wants to
Right.
buy that company? Like LB Capital moves on. If Lance Bachmann dies tomorrow, my leadership team is set in place. They'll keep doing what they're doing. They'll give money to my wife and probably buy my wife out of everything. I'm
Yeah.
assuming Bill, Mike, Kelly, Jolene would buy the company and move on. Like just, but the money's there, the systems, the processes. Like somebody else would have to step up and do what I'm doing right here, and they're going to start doing that more. Speaking, my leadership team, more podcast, more of that. Like this is really what I do all day long, man. Deep makes sense. I'm
Yeah.
going through a
Makes sense.
podcast, at my podcast. I love
Yeah.
what I do. I love helping people. I love my coaching group. I love seeing people win. I love that abundance mindset, seeing people just growing their businesses. They're happy, they're making money. Hey, listen,
Right.
it's a lot easier to have a business when it's growing and you're making money than when
Yeah.
you're in the swamp and it's not.
It's
Right?
not.
It makes your day a lot. Winning's fun. Losing sucks. I mean, it's
Losing
real
sucks.
simple.
Yeah. Losing sucks. Like, it's hard. It's hard, like, when you are in that situation. When you win, like, yeah, everything goes great. But yeah, good point out there. And I think someone actually asked me this question, and maybe I was not the right person to answer to a contractor. Owner's salary, right? Contractors, like, owner salary. Like, how do buyers look at that? Because a lot of these guys are paying themselves whatever feels right. So,
So this is how it works, right? So the owner's salary, whatever they're taking, let's just say your owner's taking $500,000 and he's running his business every single day.
right.
Well, they're probably not going to pay the general manager $500,000, right? So they'll add back in whatever it's going to be. So he might get added back 250, 300, 400. You guys come to an agreement on that. So the owner's salary isn't a big
Mhm.
thing. Now they might say, hey, listen, the owner's doing 2 different jobs,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So now that gets added back in as a cost and he loses that. I
Yeah.
would tell owners this, every owner listening to this, build your leadership team, invest in a leadership team that goes on without you, and just pay yourself in distributions. So this way you don't even have that conversation. And full transparency, I don't take any money from any of my companies that I partner with. It's
Oh,
unless
wow.
we get a distribution. I don't put myself on salary, any of that stuff.
Only
So
only the
I
distribution,
run
making
it.
sure
I
you
run it
invest
like a
in
private
right,
equity firm once.
making sure
I'm
you are
invested back
investing
in my
in
company.
leadership and right team, and maybe take, like, distribution, not like, big chunk of money, right?
No, no, no. And people are like, well, Lance, you don't need the money. You are right. That's not the point, though. Nobody wants to work for free every day.
Right, right. Yeah. No, I think that totally makes sense. Thanks for answering that. Now, my next segment is we're gonna talk about the case study that I have read it. I want to talk about the roofing company because that story is wild. 2 million to 12 million under 2 years, right? Walk me through
2
that.
million to 23 million.
23? My bad. I thought like 2 to
23 million.
12, 2 to
Funds went from
23.
2 million. We went from 2 million to 23 million in less than 18 months, one full rolling 12 month, and we sold it for $36 million to Alloyd, to Persian.
Wow. Wow. Walk me through that, like, because there had to be a moment where it got scary fast.
No, that was
No?
the plan. No, that was the fifth company I sold. That was our plan when we put it together. I got Brian Toff, Dean Minority, great people. Mike Shelley said, "Hey, listen, we're going to take these," and Jim Rubert's brand's still around, and said, "Hey, we're going to roll this up. It's about 2.5 million, 3 million in roofing." I
Right.
said, Chris Munns, my buddy, I said, "Chris, listen, hey, can I use your name? I'm going to take this company and we're going to build it. We're going to sell it in probably 2 to 3 years max, maybe 4."
Right.
Chris said, "I trust you, Lance." Didn't charge me anything for his name. Good
Yeah.
friend. Gave me his name. And we went to the races and we lost money our first few months, like we knew we would, 6 months.
Right.
And I said, come January, we're going to be putting money. December, we started making money. January, we put in money. We ran it for that whole entire year. I had us under LOI by December of that year, November of that year, first year. And we settled January 31st.
Hey, real quick, if you're in the home service space and you care about getting more calls, more jobs, and actually growing this year, don't skip this. First up, Broccoli. This one's a game changer. While you're out on a job, asleep, or just missed a call, Broccoli's AI voice agents are answering your phones 24/7, booking jobs, following up on estimates, and even dispatching texts in real time. No more missed leads. No more "will call you back." It plugs right into tools like Service Titan, and you can even match the AI voice to your brand. It's basically a full-time receptionist team without the overhead. Check them out at broccoli.com. Next, grow nearby. This is where things separate, because getting leads is one thing, but becoming the company everyone remembers, that's a different level. Grow Nearby helps home service businesses dominate their local market with high-end content, paid ads, and real strategy behind it. Not random posting, not guesswork. A system built to consistently bring in qualified leads while building a brand that actually stands out. If you're tired of blending in and ready to become the go-to name in your area, go to grownearby.com and take a look. And of course, grow reviews, because you can be the best. But if nobody sees it, it doesn't matter. Grow Reviews helps you collect real video testimonials from happy customers, the kind that instantly build trust and close deals before you even show up. They make it ridiculously easy to capture and showcase those real customer moments that sell for you. If you want more trust, more credibility, and more booked jobs, head to growreviews.com. All right, now let's get back into it.
I will say Persian's been a great partner to us. Alloyd's been a great partner to us. Like every partnership is ups and downs, but I can't say anything negative about them. They've been a pleasure to work with. And listen, business is tough. Munz is doing great.
Yeah.
Munz is having a great month right now, and they're off to a great year.
Yeah. Love that. Like 2 to 23. That's like, impressive within 18 months. So Lance, like, where was
We
the
did the same thing with Planet. We did Planet. We did the same thing. We partnered with them and we took Planet. They're at 18 million last year, correct? First year in business, 18 million. I just gave company after company where Salty Dogs, 10 million their first year with us.
Wow.
Pups, 13 million first year, right? So, yeah, I mean, they all grow.
That's
I mean, the playbook
awesome.
works. I mean, no, I haven't met anyone that actually does the playbook
Right.
and it doesn't work. Not a person.
It works.
Hmm?
It works, yeah. Where was the company broken when you first got involved with that roofing?
It always starts with the leadership team. Always.
Leadership?
You got to give them the belief, the vision. Once you get that with the leadership team and they buy in, it all grows from there. Once the leadership team buys into the vision and they have belief, it all grows. And until they have that buy-in and belief, and there's a pivotal moment, I see it with every partner. Once they have it, it grows.
Right.
It grows.
Great. And what point did you know this thing was sellable?
As soon as you have the EBITDA, I mean, it's not hard to figure out. As soon as you have the EBITDA, the systems, the process, and leadership, these private equity firms are dying for good businesses because they see so many shitty ones every day.
Right.
Imagine I'm going to get real simple for you. Imagine you seeing 50 ugly guys every day and a beautiful guy walks through the door. Every woman's going to want him. It's just that simple. They see 500 to 1,000 businesses to buy one.
Right.
That's the numbers. The numbers don't lie.
It's all number. It's all
They
numbers.
want good,
game.
healthy companies.
Right. Right. Thanks.
It's not numbers games. People don't have their businesses set up correctly to get bought. So they're not going to buy these shitty companies. They don't want to buy a headache.
Right. If everything is broken, like, why would they buy it?
There's a big delusion out there in the marketplace, Mandeep, where people think that their companies are worth all this money, where people think there's just buyers out there writing checks like no big deal and endless bank accounts. They hear all these rumors and they watch all this social media and they watch all this nonsense and they listen to these idiots, right? And then they get their heart broken and they're devastated and they waste all this time going through trying to sell their companies,
Right.
and they never get bought. It's sad. And I actually feel bad for people, right?
Right.
And then if they just would have took a deep breath
Mm.
and said, let me go find a coaching group or a mastermind to go attend and invest it $5,000 for 2 days,
Right.
they'll see the whole entire plan and change their lives, right? Or a coaching group or find the right partners of people that did it, right? So
Right.
that's the sad part. I always say to people when I look at things, I always ask them for their resume. What did you do? What have you done? What have you sold?
Right.
And if you haven't sold anything, you haven't built anything worth note, you probably don't have too much good input in your mindset because you'd be doing it if you haven't.
Right.
If you could.
Love it. Love it.
That's why I have so much respect for my leadership team because I see them do it every day.
Yeah.
I see them do it every day.
Every day.
So I hold my leadership team to the highest standard, in my opinion, at all times.
Amazing. I'm sure like you guys must have installed EOS as well, right? With your leadership and company EOS. Have you guys looked into EOS?
I haven't installed EOS. I've read the book Traction multiple times. I know that's the new hot thing. Everybody, EOS. I think there's multiple ways to skin a cat. I think there's multiple ways to build a business.
Right.
I'm not saying anything bad about EOS. Clearly I know what it is. I've done my research. No, I don't use EOS. I'm a very old school guy. I have an agenda and it gets updated and we have follow-ups and to-dos. And if you don't do your job, you're gone. I don't need a scorecard to tell me that you aren't doing well. The results of your business will show me real fast that you're not. A P&L doesn't lie. Numbers do not lie.
Yeah. Yeah. Numbers do not lie. Yeah. Love that. Love that. It seems like, you have amazing leadership and it's working great. And you are definitely right on. The way that you have built it is like, totally different as per like, your vision. So I'm glad everything is working out pretty well. My next segment is private equity, right? I saw like, one post, I think 2-3 weeks ago, like Champions Group that sold it for 1.2 billion. Yeah, PE definitely like, it's a lot happening in the home service space. PE is coming into home services hard right now. HVAC, roll-ups, roofing platforms, it's everywhere. So for a contractor who gets a call or an email from one of these groups, what do they need to know before they even take that meeting? Because it's happening every day.
First of all, the email and phone call you're getting 95% of the time is from a subcontractor of theirs that they pay per lead to bring in. So all they're doing is cold emailing and calling everyone.
Oh, wow.
They just see your name and it's a whole database and they just go through it. So these people will say to me, oh, I get emailed all the time from private equity firms. I start laughing. I'm like, yeah, you're on the list.
Yeah.
You're on the list. It's almost like the robocaller used to call you for your mortgage, right? Like you're on the list. Great. They found your name on the internet, scraped the data, and you're on the list. So they don't want to buy your company. That's just the beginning part. Then when you respond, they're going to set up a meeting. Once they set up a meeting, it's a discovery call. And it's going to last about 15 to 30 minutes. They know if they're interested in your business after the first 5-10 minutes. That chemistry, if it isn't there, you're gone, right? It's just there. That's number one. Number two, do you have a business that you can actually sell? Is it big enough for them, or is it too big for them? Because these groups all have different level sizes of businesses
Levels.
that they're
Yeah.
looking for. Some want smaller deals, some want bigger deals. So it's just all different depending on where they're at.
Right.
Then it is your do you pass the sniff test? Meaning, can they trust
Mhm.
you? If they can't trust you, then you're out automatically, right? That sounds like common sense, but a lot of these deals don't even pass the sniff test.
Mhm.
Then it's the matter of are you properly set up, your organization? Are your books set up? Do you have a leadership team, et cetera, et cetera? All the things we talk about in my
Right.
playbook that you can download and get
Right.
at lbcapital.com. And once you're there and you get to the LOI stage, is really where you better dot all your I's and cross all your T's on how your earnout's going to look, your escrow, what money's going where. Because once you get into the AP, once I have you on the LOI,
Right.
all the shift goes to the private equity firm. You have no control. You can't talk to other companies. You can't try and sell your company. You got to wait till the LOI date expires. They're
Wow.
going to try and get it for 120 to 150 days. You want to get it to under 90 days, preferably 70 days max.
Yeah.
She's a good private equity firm should be able to close inside of 70 days to 90 days. If they've really
70,
done this
70.
multiple times.
Wow.
Yeah, because once you're getting an LOI, so much work has been done. Right.
Right.
So you've been through a lot. The data rooms are already built out. They already went through things. If you're doing it the right way, right? Unless you're just saying, hey, listen, here's my
Yeah.
P&L, and you let because I'm going through quality of earnings with all my companies on our end, and then we're giving them that information so they know their certified financial records.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot to it than people think. People
Hmm.
leave millions, and I have at the very beginning left
Right.
millions of dollars on the table making rookie mistakes. And that's why we help educate people so much about selling their business to private equity firms. They buy anywhere from 50 to 100 companies a year, if not more, right? Throughout their
Yeah.
whole organization. And you might
Yeah.
sell one company your whole entire lifetime. Who do you think's better at chess? The guy that plays chess every single day, multiple games, or the guy that plays chess one time in their lifetime?
Hmm. So that's the basically difference between an identifying a good PE partner versus that is just going to strip the business, right? So
No PE partner stripping the business. Like that's the business is the asset that they're buying. Like so that's a myth. Like, like a shitty PE partner would do that. Like I shouldn't say no one. A
okay.
very unsophisticated search fund, someone that doesn't know what they're doing would do that. Most of these PE firms, when they buy you, they just want to add value. They're very good people. The majority of the
Right.
people in the PE space are very good people. They're trying to add value. I mean, listen, their job is to buy your company as cheap as possible. Your
Right.
job is to try and get your company gold as high as possible. That's
Yeah.
just human nature when we go through a negotiation, when we buy or sell anything, right?
Right.
When you go online to buy something, do you want to pay the most for that product or you want to pay the less for that product, Mandeep?
I know. Less.
Right? Of course, right? So, I mean, it's not really hard to figure out, but then it's a matter of there are bad doers in anything. There's bad police officers, a small amount. There's bad teachers. There's bad coaches. There's bad, but the majority of people are very, very good in this space and they're great people. And I'm a big component of if anyone needs a PE firm that they want to talk to, I'll give you 8 to 10 to 15 guys and girls that I know are great people. And no, they want to come help you with your marketing, with your systems, your processes, your payroll, take all that back end headache stuff away from you. So all
Right.
you got to worry about is building your company, making it more profitable, and do what you're great at.
Love that. Love that. I was in Miami. We had I go to that mastermind, marketing mastermind, and Cristiano was there because he exited completely, from
Yeah.
0 to $90 million, valuation. And he was sharing, all the challenges and everything, wish he could have done this. And he was sharing on the exit plans and all. And there were contractors, my friends, they actually sold it. And after 2, 3 months, they were kind of in stress and they were like, what to do next, right? There is not, if you don't have any plans, if you just sell it and what to do next. So what happens to the owner after the deal closes? Are they usually still running it? What are your thoughts on
We
that?
we could talk, we could talk about that. There's multiple ways. So Yano's deal didn't go that well, as you know, obviously. It went
Yeah.
south, right?
Yeah.
Which is common sometimes, right? Like numbers don't get met, you don't get earnouts. I don't know all the details, but obviously I've seen his wife post multiple posts that didn't go well.
Yeah.
Listen, it's business, right? Like you make a deal, you think you're making a deal with one thing. These guys, I will tell you this. Every private equity firm out there are all the same. They're going to hold you to the agreement that you sign and the numbers that you're supposed to write and get to. That's just that's their life. They're taking investors' money, they're
Right.
promising returns
Yeah.
on writing these business plans, right? So sometimes business plans don't get met. Sometimes budgets don't get met, and it's not personal on either end. As long
Yeah.
as people see the numbers, show the numbers. I can't speak on Yano's deal. I don't know what he sold his company for. I like Chris. He used to work for me at yellowpages.com when I was the vice president of AT&T.
Oh,
Got
wow.
nothing bad to say about him and his wife. Small community, but I know it didn't go well. And I feel bad for that because all I want to do is see good transactions happen, right? And you hear a lot of stories where people don't get earnouts and things go bad. There's multiple reasons on both sides, and the truth
Right.
somewhere in between, right? This is what I do know about when you sell. You better know what you're doing next. And I didn't know what I was doing next when I sold my digital agency. I made a lot of mistakes there. I sold to a search fund, number one. Never sell to a search fund. And that's just a fact. Unless you don't care what happens to the company, unless you don't care about your earnouts, and unless you don't care about waiting, because a search fund looks for deals,
Right.
and then they go try and raise money. So it's like the opposite. Like you're looking to go buy a house, and then you go find the money for the house. It's very odd, right? And
Yeah.
it's just, and majority of these people aren't the best operators, right, in search funds, and they're not the best leadership teams, and they're trying to do it all themselves because they invest a little bit of their own money,
Right.
right? So if a deal costs us just $30 million, they might invest $300,000 total into the deal, which is 1%. That's it.
Yeah.
But their management fees are 5% that they get to keep. But they really have no back office management. It'll be them with one or two people,
Right.
and they're keeping all the money from these multiple companies themselves. It's a very, very, it's great for them,
Yeah.
and they make their money back and they make their investment back, and they have a great outcome. They sell the company. It's even better.
Right.
I'm not a fan of search fund. What I will tell you about when you sell to private equity firms is there's a thing called seller's depression because you don't know what's next. I went through it with my digital agency because I was like trying to figure out LB
What's this
Capital. I
called?
was like,
What's this
look,
called? Seller's depression?
But seller's depression. Yeah, and it's real. Like you
Yeah, it's
Google it,
real.
you can find out.
Yeah.
A lot of sellers go through it because the private equity firms, they're going to make changes to systems, processes. They're going to make changes to compensation at some point. And it just has to happen, right? It's just
Right.
life.
Yeah.
Only consistency in business is everything changes. And I say that all the time. I was at the vice president of AT&T, and people would ask me, why does the commission plan change every year? I'm like, because it's consistent. It's going to change. Like
Yeah.
everything's going to change.
Right.
The environment changes. So you go through seller's depression. So you better know what you're doing next, number one. Number two, not everybody wants to stay on with the PE firm. And not PE firms always don't want the founder to stay on. So that
Right.
conversation has to happen, right?
Right.
Listen, I've never stayed on when I sold a company. I do have management agreements now, like when I sold Munns that we helped out with Shock IT. We had a management agreement. It's called a TSA in place where you help out for 6 months a year. The Munns one went over a year. We're still helping out. It's no big deal as they're putting things together. You want to be a good partner when you sell to people on
Right.
both ends because the world is a small place. And, the majority of people are only selling one company in their lifetime. I'm
Right.
going to continue to sell more and more. So for me, my word is everything. My reputation is everything. I try to explain to people.
Yeah.
Long career, one reputation, right? So,
Hmm.
but things are going to go wrong. Like it's
Right.
business.
It's
But they know
business.
that and you know that. The thing is how do you handle those things, times when thing goes wrong? And things can't constantly go wrong. Everything can't be a huge fight. Like you got to give, you got to get, it has to be a back and forth. Once again, you want to sell to the right private equity firm, Mandeep. You want to sell to the right private equity firm.
We want to sell it to right private equity firm. Yeah. It's a lot. It's not easy though.
You want to bring the right partners on. It's not easy. It's
Yeah,
not easy. It's
it's not easy.
hard,
It's hard.
very hard. But there are good people out there. I know there's
Yeah,
a lot of noise around all the bad. There are a lot of good actors in the PE space.
good actors in the yeah. I've heard like that seller's depression. My friends, those who own HVAC companies, they have gone through, and there are like companies those who sold it. Their work culture got changed. Like kind of like PE firms, they have changed the whole management, and the employees left because they don't buy that vision now because the owner had a different
That
vision.
happens. That happens sometimes.
Yeah,
But that happens sometimes. Like that happens. But when you sell your house, can somebody come in and change the paint? Can they change windows and doors? I
yeah,
mean, here's a true story. I put it in perspective, people all the time. My
yeah,
old house on Kasi Circle, I loved. I built this. I renovated. I sold it at the top of the market at the
yeah,
time, and
yeah,
I sold it to a buddy of mine. He was Russian, and
yeah,
this guy Andre, great guy, him and his wife. They're young.
yeah.
They stripped my house down to the bones, like knocked out walls. Like I've been back there multiple times. They actually built it beautiful than me. I thought my house was, I thought they were going to move it and not change anything. When I
Right.
saw dumpsters outside and cabinets, and I was like, wow. Like I always wanted to ask you, but I'm like, I sold the house, but the
Yeah,
end product was beautiful. And
beautiful.
sometimes the operators that got you to 5 million and 10 million and 15 million, that leadership team, it's not going to be the same leadership team that takes you to 50 million because
Right.
they don't want to change and they want to grow. And
Yeah,
loyalty works both ways,
yeah.
right?
Love that.
I have no problem saying my video guys right here. Yo, guys, you got to get better at video content. We got to get better at AI. We got to get faster at using some of these tools, or you're not going to be here. Not that I don't want you here. I love you. But
Yeah,
our job is to keep forming and getting better and better. The same thing I say to my C. I got to keep getting better and better, Mandeep, or they
yeah.
shouldn't want to stay with me for this ride.
Right, right.
Right? If I don't get better and if I don't elevate up, how do they make more money? Well, that's not
Right.
fair to them.
Yeah. No, I love that. Love that what you shared. Like, if the PE is making those changes, and if the current management or leadership or employee is gonna stick to the same vision, like 5 billion, let's say they're aiming for, but they're aiming for like 50 million. Yeah, they gotta make some changes, and it's good. It's good.
Of course.
Yeah.
Imagine if you said to your wife, right? Like, I want my kids to be the best at something, and
Right.
your wife wasn't on board. You're probably going to change your wife. Like
Yeah.
I'm stone serious with you.
Yeah. It's yeah.
Like if my wife's vision didn't match my vision for
Yeah.
my children,
Gotta make that decision.
I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not personal.
Yeah.
And in business, it even becomes less personal.
Yeah. Love it.
Like it really is. Like if you have a vision, so I'll tell you a true story. One of my people that work for me, who I love to death, and she came and she said probably about 4 or 5 months ago, this is hard, this is stressful, I can't do it. I said, I love you, you can leave. She said, I don't want to leave. I said, I don't want to do, I'm not going to lower my standard for your standard. And I think it finally resonated to her, like, wow. But that's my conversation with a lot of people.
Right.
I'm not going to lower my standard for your standard. I know where we want to go. I know you want to make more money. I know you want to take care of, buy another house or go on a vacation. I know you want to do these things. I can't do that if we lower our standards around here.
Right.
The only way I can keep contributing money and more money out to people is if we keep raising our standard, raise what we do, and making things better.
Love it. Yeah. I think like, in business life, you have to like, take those like, decisions uh, where you think that, if alignment is not there, then it's not going to work out. And I think that goes with like, PE or whatever, like, you talk about any
It goes
company
for anything.
for anything. Yeah.
It goes for anything in your life. If alignment's not there,
Yeah.
remember this: alignment and your energy never lies.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So if you have a different vision than me, It never lies. And your energy never lies. You could sit in a room full of people and just by their energy, they could tell you they love you,
Yeah.
but by the energy, you know they don't.
Yeah. It's all about energy.
Energy never lies. Energy never lies.
Energy never lies. Yeah. Love that.
Never
Love that.
lies. People
Yeah.
energy is the quickest way to see who's with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. This is what I learned. Like, Gary Vee is on my wall there. Legacy is greater than currency. Learned a lot from this guy. Met met him as well, like, many times. But my last segment here is like, I want to talk about your book, right? You put an all in a book, all in, right?
Yeah.
Which chapter do people skip that they should not? And be honest, what part of the book is actually the hardest to execute?
So the book All In was written by multiple authors. They asked me to write my story in there. And it's only probably, what would you say, 12 pages, 15 pages? It's a small
Yeah,
read.
which is amazing. Yeah.
I think there's a number one seller, and all the other authors were great too in their stories, to be truthful with you. And Michelle Gulp did a great job on the book. I'm actually writing a second book now. I would
Love it.
tell anyone, you don't have to go read the book, but I would tell anyone this is if you want to do anything great in life and you want to accomplish your goal, number one, it's the people around you, right? Number one, are they helping you get there or are they hurting you getting there? It's a yes or no. There's no in between,
Right.
right? And you find out who's with you during the most hardest critical times. So
Yeah.
when failure happens, and failure is going to happen,
Yeah.
right? And I say this to all kids I coach, to the parents. I say it to everyone. You can see so much of true colors. And the same is for in business.
Yeah.
When failures happen, how do people respond? How do they behave? How do they act towards who's been good to them? Right. So in business, it's the same thing. When
Yeah.
things don't go great and you see people wavering and are not in the mud with you and they're not staying in the dirt with you, you got to get rid of them. You got to
Yeah.
get rid of them. They're toxic. They'll destroy your whole, because you're going to have a ship never goes out to sea without choppy waters. If
Love
you're
that.
really going out to sea. And a
Yeah.
business will never grow without choppy waters. And you'll never build an athlete without choppy waters. It's just that simple. So the
Yeah.
community has to be with you during that chop. And if they're not, they got to go because businesses come up short. So
Yeah.
like that's what the book's about, right? About being all in, having that mindset. If I'm with you, I am with you, Mandeep, to the end. Like you
Yeah.
see, my leadership team has been with me for years. You see the majority of people that work with me have been with me for years. I'm a loyal man. If I'm with you, I'm with you. I expect to back in return. And if not, you got to go. It's that
Yeah.
simple. But for you to build anything great, you got to be all in.
All in. Yeah. Love that. Love that. Thanks for sharing. You gave me
And
goosebumps again.
anything.
I wrote down like, this.
Well, you got to remember this. You got to remember this. Anything you do in life is 25% probably what you're born with, meaning your intelligence, your charismatic, your looks. It's 25%.
Yeah.
The rest of it is 75% built. And I'm going to take the built machine, right, over anything, meaning I'm going to build my kids into great athletes, great leaders, great businessmen. I'm going to build it and build it and build it. And we keep talking. And I don't care what anyone else thinks. And I really
Right.
don't ask their opinions unless they've done the same thing as me. Like the coaches that are around my kids,
Yeah.
I've all done it. Mason, Josh Kingdick, Ryan Crookham. I have the utmost respect for these men because they've done it. They've been there. Nate Lauder,
Right.
you
Right.
know. Well, I'm constantly reinforcing to my sons around good men that have done that. In business, the same exact thing. I only take business advice from people that have done it. I don't listen to the crowd. The crowd was never in the arena. They
Yeah.
don't understand the arena. So I don't listen. The zookeeper doesn't listen to the monkeys chirping at the zoo.
Yeah.
Right? They just
Yeah.
don't.
That's
The
true.
zookeeper doesn't give a shit about the monkeys chirping at the zoo.
Right.
I don't give a shit about the monkeys at the zoo. I don't give a shit about the crowd. I
Yeah.
care about, hey, have you built a business? Have you been through the choppy waters? Did you stick through it? Have you been successful? I want all the information from you then. How did you do it? How'd you get there? I'm a constant student. How'd you get there?
Right.
But the crowd and the zoo and all the idiots,
Doesn't matter.
I don't You want to see the circus? Go to this comment section in social media. If you
Yeah.
want to see who's with you, if you want to see who's with you in life, go through a tough time and see who stands by you.
Who's
That's all you need to
standing?
know.
Yeah, that's true. That's 100% true. I've gone through with it, and I've seen those who sticks to me. Like, I've seen those people, and yeah, it's tough. Like, this was really amazing. Thank you so much, Lance, for coming on my show and powerhouse discussion. And I hope all the listeners you got some value. And if you want to reach out to Lance, what's the best way to get in touch with you or LB Capital? We will put
My
everything
cell
in the
phone.
cell phone.
Ask my beautiful wife on my cell phone.
Love
But
it.
my cell phone, 215-796-4393. 215-796-4393. Shoot me a text. I'll respond. My assistant will respond. Jacob, Neary, someone, go to my social media. They'll respond. My team is very responsive to anyone that reaches out.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Lance. And thanks to everyone listening, whether you are in the truck or on the job site or grinding at the office. Thank you for tuning in. This community is everything. We don't take it lightly. Quick shout out to our sponsors, Broccoli, Grow Reviews. This means a lot to us. Thanks for all the love and support. And we will be back soon with another fire episode. Until then, keep building, keep growing. You were born for the trades. See you on the next one.